I just beat a 7-year-old, doo-da, doo-da. I just beat a 7-year-old at a cartoon game. Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, baby. How you been? So you got a little sneak peek of today's case review of the CIT Jupiter, which is a shameless O11 dynamic clone. So we're going to see sort of how it gets on, because one of the interesting things about this case is that it comes with 6 RGB fans already included, and adding the RGB fans is actually something that one of the things that makes the O11 dynamics so expensive. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull this off. I have used O11 dynamic clones in the past, and I've found that they're just not worth it. You're not saving enough money in order to make it a good investment. So let's see if this one can buck the trend. Today we're putting together a really nice gaming and streaming PC. So what we'll do is we'll go through the parts here, and then we'll have a look over the case, and then we will do a build-tage, and then we will have a look at a bit of gaming, have a chat, and we can sort of get a nice opinion on this case and whether it's a good investment for you. So leading the line today is the processor. This is the i7-10700F, the Intel processor. 8 cores, 16 threads, and significantly cheaper than the 5600X. So whilst it might be 5 to 10% slower in gaming, you're going to be gaining those extra cores, which is great for content creation. We've also got a 120mm liquid cooler, which is plenty for an F-SKU Intel chip, so that's going to work really nicely. We've also got 16GB of PNY RAM, which is running at 3200 speed at CL16. Next up on our list is our motherboard, and we're going with the B560 Pro 4. So this is the latest platform from Intel, and what this is going to do is going to allow us to get the most out of our memory. So we've got 3200 MHz RAM. We're actually going to be able to run it at that speed thanks to this new motherboard. For our storage today, we're using a 500GB Crucial P5 NVMe SSD. These are nice. These are actually pretty quick. I think you can get up to maybe 3000 megabits read, 1700 write, maybe something like that. But they're pretty good. So it's a nice little platform there. We've got the Zotac Twin Edge OC RTX 3060. Lots of VRAM for your content creation, NVENC encoder, but also pretty sweet on the gaming side. For Wi-Fi, we've got the Gigabyte Wi-Fi adapter. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name, but it's a good Wi-Fi adapter. I really like that one. And then we've got the Corsair CX650 650 watt bronze rated power supply, which is going to do us really nicely powering this system. Because really you could get away with probably 550 watts in this, but it's nice to have a little bit of wiggle room. Gives you that upgradability in the future as well. So those are the parts. Let's take a look at the case next. So in true concept soup fashion, we have the first person dodgy view. So we've got 6 RGB fans included, but they're all in exhaust, so you need to move those ones off the side and the top, chuck them on the bottom and spin them round and secure them in place for some better airflow there. I don't know why they set it up in this way. It's just completely nonsensical. You're going to have like huge dust bunnies in there if you run them all in exhaust, so that's not ideal. Let's swing it round and take a look at the back panel, because that's where a lot of our connecting cables are and all the other important stuff. So swinging that round, we've got a mess of cables here. We've got an RGB hub, which is pretty nice. You've got 3-pin RGB, that's pretty good, and you've got the ability to control it via the reset switch on the case as well, so that's always a nice feature. We've got the screws, we've got all of our front panel connectors, all that rubbish, and then I noticed, oh no, we have Molex connectors for the fans. That is not good news. So it's not the end of the world. It's going to depend on how loud those fans are, because when you run fans on Molex, they just run at a single speed all the time. So it's going to be interesting to see how noisy this machine is based on that. CIT have really sort of cut the corners there. It wouldn't have cost you very much more to make these 3-pin or 4-pin fans, so I'm a bit disappointed in that really, because one of the main reasons you buy this case is because it comes with the RGB fans in it as well, which saves you a little bit of money, so I wasn't very impressed with that. Also on the back of the case you've got room for plenty of hard drives and SSDs, so you should have plenty of space in there. I'd probably recommend going for 2.5-inch drives in this case if you can, although I think you can probably get one 3.5-inch drive in here if you really need to. But otherwise, layout is fine. It's missing some of the build quality that you get with the O11 Dynamic. It's also missing that double 3.5-inch hard drive bay as well. So not quite as premium. The other thing I noticed, the other difference is that the feet are quite close to the ground on the CIT versus the Lee & Lee O11 Dynamic, where the feet are quite high off the ground. Allows a bit more air to come through the bottom as well. But overall, it's kind of a faithful clone with a few missing features. So that's the case look over. Let's do a build-tage, and we'll meet back in a moment. Arrivederci. Okay, so build is actually done, but we're just going to quickly tweak the BIOS, and there's two settings you want to pay close attention to here. The base frequency boost, so let's put that up to 125 watts, max that out to get the most performance out of the CPU. If you find that your temperatures are too high, just go back into the BIOS and just put this down to a lower wattage and just repeat until you find that sort of happy medium. Even with 120mm liquid cooler, you should be able to run that at 125 watts. That should be okay. In addition, you want to put the RAM into the XMP profile so that you get the most speed out of it as well. So there you go. Let's show off the PC a little bit with a bit of B-roll, and then we'll get into a bit of gaming where you can see my skills in the Battle Royale franchises, and then we'll wrap this up so you can get on with your Tuesday afternoon.
Boom, bits. Any more? Any freaking more? Get out of here! Get him out of here! Ho ho! Fire in the hole, baby! Whoa, shit. Corby! Let's say it to the big rosé. Concept soup. Oh yeah! I just beat a 7-year-old, doo-dah, doo-dah. I just beat a 7-year-old at a cartoon game. Yeah. You little scumbag. Get out of here.
So I did add the mod mic onto the Scuff streaming setup just because that audio before was just horrendous. But yeah, I didn't think your boy would be getting the Vic Roy, would you? Huh? I've still got skills. I'm old, but you know, I've still got skills. Nice PC overall. I really like this. This spec is really good, especially for any sort of content creators, particularly if you play games like Fortnite, which aren't particularly heavy on the hardware. It means that you've got plenty of buffer there so that you can run a stream in the background and then you can make some YouTube videos on your gameplays and whatever. This is a really good machine for that. Let's put some test results, temperature stuff on the screen whilst we're talking, and we're going to talk about the case in general. So I've already mentioned quite a few things about this case, but I think the main pros with this case are that it is about 40 quid cheaper than the O11 Dynamic. It comes with 6 RGB fans, whereas the O11 Dynamic doesn't come with any, so you'd have to fill those out yourself, and that can get very expensive. So this is a case for somebody that really wants that sort of double glass cube sort of look, without spending a huge amount of money on the case and all the fans and everything. But you do sort of sacrifice some of that build quality, you sacrifice some of the premium finish and the materials used and some of the features as well. So it's always a balance, but I think Metallic Gear, which is one of the Fantech spin-off, they also have an O11 Dynamic clone. I think it's called the Cube or something, and I think that looks like it might be a bit better than this one, but who knows. But I mean, overall, not a bad case, not bad. I'm not going to recommend it just because I think if you're going to go for this style of case, you should definitely just get the real thing and spend your money, because if you cheap out on something a little bit less than what you're actually intending to get, you're always just going to be thinking about, oh, what if I did this, what if I did that? And invariably, people just end up going out and buying that other thing anyway, making the first purchase a complete waste of money. So I would recommend just getting the O11 Dynamic and making it look how you like and just save up a bit of extra money. But if you're not like really fervently wanting that look and you just think it would look cool to have the 2 glass panels, then I think this is a really good choice. I just wish it was a little bit cheaper. Considering you've got Molex fans in there, I think 90 quid's a bit steep. I think 75 to 70 quid would probably be a bit more fair for what you're getting here. But I do appreciate there's probably more manufacturing costs associated with making a case like this, so maybe that's why. But overall, I wouldn't use it myself, but it's not a bad budget option. So there you go. If you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff, because that's what YouTube likes. And if you like the video, it means you like me. Yeah. And also, this PC is for sale at jcpccustoms.com. As long as it's still in stock by the time you see this video, it can be yours as long as you live in the UK. So, hey, there you go. That's the end. Catch you later. Have a nice Tuesday.